did what they could do to make that lonely book look bleak.
Hey, thanks for joining us on the Cafe this morning. Our next guest is a chart-topping songwriter. Remember the 111 ambulance song? You'll never forget it once you've heard it. He's also a best-selling children's author whose latest book aims to tackle bullying and share the important message of never judging a book by its cover, although this book is pretty gorgeous. I'm looking forward to reading it. Welcome back, Chris Sanders.
Thank you very much for having me.
That was a little bit of new music that we just heard coming into the show just now as well, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's kind of been quite a while in the making of the song. I think it was probably about a year or so in terms of just like making the song and getting all the book illustrated as well. So it's really exciting to actually be able to have it on shelves now.
So, and it looks so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine what it must be like to birth a book.
Yeah,
you know, because it literally is like that, isn't it?
It really is.
So long.
It does become your baby, yeah, absolutely. And it's my fourth baby.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You're doing well. Very prolific. Tell me about this book, because it's about bullying, but let's start with your own experience of bullying, if you had one.
Yeah, well, I guess when I was at junior school, I actually grew up in England, and I grew up in Liverpool. And,
that sounds tough already.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But it's not too bad. And basically, I was at junior school at the time, and it was a period of a few months, but it really felt like a lifetime. I remember it, and there was one particular child who used to just pick on me every single day, and literally it got to the point where you'd be fearing going to school, and you wouldn't want to turn up. And so in fact, I think I actually did run away from school a couple of times because of it. So
it's quite common behaviour, to be honest,
isn't
it? Yeah,
it is. It's really common, and most of us have got I've got kids as well, and it's the kind of thing that you really fear actually happening to your own kids as well. So it eventually did stop, and it stopped because I got support. I had I told people. I had a teacher that I told. Obviously, I told my parents, and it eventually did stop, which was great. So, but yeah.
Is this what's inspired this book, or the fact that you're a parent going into this zone and wanting to keep your kids safe as well?
Yeah, I guess what inspired the story itself was actually slightly different. It was obviously I'm a self-published author, and I used to go into the bookshops every so often, and you'd look for your own books, and you'd be like, well, I wonder where they are, and
you'd not too many on the shelf.
But there's so many kids' books. Yeah. Well, that's right. But you'd be like, where is it? And then all of a sudden you'd find your book turned upside down or in a different section in the bookshop. Someone had picked it up and put it in the adult section, even though it's a children's book. And it was kind of like, I actually thought it was quite funny because I was thinking, my books, no one's going to be able to find it. So the idea for the character behind the story kind of came from that, which the book is never found, and all the other books in the bookshop, the more popular ones, were sort of doing things throughout the whole story to kind of make that book look more drab and worn out. So that was probably one of the most tricky things for me was, obviously I'm trying to communicate a message to people about a really serious topic, which is bullying, teasing, that kind of thing. But how can I make that in a way that's really accessible to kids, that they want to listen and they don't feel like it's like, someone going,
Look, I think this is a brilliant idea. I've got 3 kids, 2 of them at primary school, both have had bullying experiences. I think, there's been a prevalence in recent months, really, of, an anxiety book for kids, an emotions book for kids. Why not bullying? This is fantastic. And it gives us, well, hopefully I haven't read it yet, I'm looking forward to reading it. Will give us parents some more tools to deal with it, because I don't know, and I don't think my children know, when it's just normal schoolyard stuff versus... That's not okay.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my kids come home and they go, "Oh, someone's called me a name, or I've been teased." But you kind of go, is that bullying, or what is that? And trying to figure that out as a parent is a really tricky thing.
And not the person that's emailing all the time, going, "Oh, such and such called this."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't want all the other parents who are your friends to start hating you as well. So you got to be very careful. But I guess what this book is about, because obviously it's targeted for kids like sort of. Kindergarten and primary school age, is actually to open up the conversation. It's not really giving any advice as such to kind of go, this is what you should do, because there's plenty of organisations, Bully Free NZ and Youthline and people like that can advise on the real sort of nitty-gritty stuff to do with how you should deal with bullying. But this is really a nice way for kids, if they'll read the story and if they can relate that to maybe something that's going on in their own lives, and they can maybe open up a conversation with their parents or the teachers and kind of go, maybe they feel a little bit like the Lonely Book. You know?
And, fantastic. Something. We always like tools, parents.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Exactly. It's my pleasure.
What has the response been so far?
It's actually been really good. Like it's only just come out, so it's going to be on the bookshelves now. So, but I did
a school holiday read
and the school holidays, and I did a little pre-order of the book, and I revealed kind of some ideas around the story, and the feedback's just been really amazing. In fact, much better than like all my previous books. Although my previous books had different messages, but it's been really, really like what you've been saying is we really need this kind of thing to be able to talk to our kids.
It's just a starter, isn't it?
It's
to help us all figure out in this crazy busy world how to start these conversations when you're trying to get dinner on the table, do the homework, and all the other things, and then creating those moments with your children. To allow them space to tell you what's actually been going on outside of just the normal day-to-day stuff is really important. And, bedtime story, that could be a really good opportunity for you to figure out what's going on, what's really going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And my personal feeling about children's books is that, it's a time when a child and a parent has to be together. Obviously an older child can read a story, but quite often, especially if it's a younger child, you're in that position together, and that's when the conversations are going to happen. So
fantastic.
So,
this is very exciting.
Thank you.
Actually, the main moral of the story is to not judge a book by its cover. But this cover's beautiful.
I know.
I judge it. I love it.
Maybe we made it too beautiful, no. But he's got like a tired thread on it, and it's got So the book kind of goes in like this. The parents will probably hear some of the references. They might understand things like the tiger spilled his tea on the front cover spread, and James threw his giant peach, that kind of thing. And so it's done in a really fun way. But that's kind of what the cover is. So but it's hopefully it does well.
Now you're known for your music as well, and there's something else in the pipeline regarding your 111 ambulance song. Is that right?
Yeah, there is indeed. Yes. So. People might remember the 111 ambulance song I did for St. John. I think it was 2018, last year. Last week a couple of weeks ago, we brought out the Toreo version for Maori Language Week, which was great, and that went to #1 as well. And in a few months' time, the APO have actually orchestrated the ambulance song.
Wow.
And so I'm actually performing the song at the Vodafone Event Centre, I think it is, in Manukau. And also another song with the Auckland Philharmonic Orchestra, and also another song that I wrote called Angel Star, which is another book as well. So I'm really excited about that.
Fire.
It's just basically like a musician's dream,
and having a moment, enjoy every minute of it. And thanks for highlighting a really important issue with what looks to be a really great children's picture book.
Thank you for that.
And shout out to your cousin as well for the great illustrations.
That's Natalie Conaty. Amazing.
Thank you, Chris, and best of luck with the book. If you'd like to get a hold of a copy of it, it is available on Paper Plus, Whitcoulls, The Warehouse, and on Chris's own website, angelstar.co.nz.